Wenger's final Arsenal message ignored by owners, but followed by Mikel Arteta. At first, there were league and cup doubles, French flair and new healthy diets. But by the end of Arsene Wenger's Arsenal reign, there was little more than animosity, infighting between fans and the occasional message via airplane. The joy that Wenger's once new and exciting brand of football used to bring those on the Highbury terraces had been replaced by vitriol and furious fans shouting over the team's fortunes online. Throughout all of this, the man at the center of the storm kept his class and dignity. At no point did Wenger ever even slightly lash out at the fans he had once been adored by. None of this is to say their frustration was misplaced. The Gunners had fallen spectacularly short of the standards expected of them both with or without Wenger. With that in mind, some of the ways a minority went about getting their opinion across may have overstepped the mark. Planes flying over the Hawthorns during yet another bleak away day during his penultimate campaign in charge were a notable low point. They eventually got their wish though, as on April 20, 2018 Wenger confirmed he would be walking away from his post at the end of the 2017-18 season. His statement sent shockwaves through the club, as so few expected it given the Frenchman still had a year left to run on his deal. After careful consideration and following discussions with the club, I feel it is the right time for me to step down at the end of the season, Wenger said. I am grateful for having had the privilege to serve the club for so many memorable years. I managed the club with full commitment and integrity. Have your say. Should Arsenal try to get Wenger to return at boardroom level? Comment below. I want to thank the staff, the players, the directors and the fans who make this club so special. I urge our fans to stand behind the team to finish on a high. To all the Arsenal lovers, take care of the values of the club. My love and support forever. That final passage, 4 years on, sticks out like a sore thumb with the ability to look at how the Gunners have fared since his departure. During Wenger's tenure, Arsenal were viewed as one of the classier teams in the Premier League. That reputation has been significantly damaged since the spring of 2018, most obviously due to Arsenal's part to play in the formation of the botched European Super League in April of 2021. The Gunners' owners Kroenke Sports Entertainment, spearheaded by Texan billionaire Stan Kroenke, were one of the 6 sets of owners responsible for the English clubs involved in the controversial league's inception. Sky Sports commentator and former United star Gary Neville described the plans as a war on football, while Arsenal fans fiercely protested their own club's involvement outside the stadium, while the coronavirus pandemic meant rules like social distancing and games being played beyond closed doors were still enforced. A home clash with Everton was marred by pre-match protests from the Emirates Stadium faithful who had come to the end of their tether with KSE's ownership. The decision to sign up for the European Super League, the final straw for a fanbase already at odds with those running the club. The Arsenal players themselves clearly weren't keen on the idea either, as Hector Bellerin quoted Wenger's goodbye message urging those who love the Gunners to take care of the club's values. Many saw the Spaniard's message as a dig at the Kroenkes. Things had actually soured badly prior to the Super League, when the COVID-19 pandemic had just begun. The subsequent financial turmoil that plenty of Premier League clubs found themselves in did not avoid Arsenal. The Gunners rely on their gate revenue more than most, and as a result saw their pockets take a significant hit, while fans were barred from watching on from the terraces. While 19 other clubs in the division placed staff on furlough, Arsenal made 55 members of staff, including club mascot Gunnersaurus, redundant at the peak of the pandemic. This decision caused untold outrage from fans who saw the decision as little more than the Kroenkes trying to protect their own financial status. Controversy even filtered down to the playing staff, as talks of a pay cut to help keep the club in a semi-healthy economic position divided the dressing room. Arsenal, by this time led by Mikel Arteta after an underwhelming spell in charge for Wenger's immediate successor Unai Emery, tried to convince their players to slash their wages. The majority agreed, but Mesut Ozil is widely touted as one of the players who pushed back. The former German international demanded assurances the money would go towards preventing further redundancies being made, but is rumored to have failed to get that assurance from Kroenke and co. However, there are finally some shoots of optimism that Arteta's Arsenal are aiming to restore some of the beliefs Wenger held close to his heart. The Gunners have favored a young, vibrant lineup for much of the season and developed talent such as Bukayo Saka, Emile Smith-Rowe and Gabriel Martinelli. Wenger would often put his faith in youth, whether it be to his benefit or indeed detriment. Arteta has been very vocal in his desire to see his former boss return to the club in some capacity, even if it is to simply watch a game at the Emirates. There is reportedly a cutout of Wenger, arms aloft, stuck on the wall of Arsenal's London Colney training ground. Adjacent to the mural is a quote from the man himself that reads, "Here you have the opportunity to get out the greatness that is in each of you." After 4 years in the wilderness, Arsenal are finally starting to show signs of restoring their values once more.